5 News at 12:30 starts now.
Welcome to 5 News at 12:30 on 5 News Plus. I'm Claire Everbach here with Joshua Weisel, and it's quite warm today, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's definitely more spring-like. Now, we're technically in a meteorological spring. It's not, astronomical. Can't really think of the word right now, or say it correctly. Bear with me. What I am going to show you is the forecast, and it's warm, as we mentioned. Notice, 70s. Now, there are some areas still in the 60s. Yeah, it's just mild out there, which is nice. Now that we're into March, it's starting to warm up. The temperatures feel fantastic. The only thing that doesn't really feel fantastic, get a load of this, wind gusts. Now, we have seen some wind gusts as high as 30 miles an hour, depending on the location. And you can probably hear it. If you heard a little whistling sound that was kind of off in the distance, the door that's next to the green screen, starting to hear those winds out there. So sustained winds about, 10 to 20. Occasional wind gusts anywhere between about 15 to 25, even as high as 30, depending on the location. So next 12 hours, it's going to be a wonderful afternoon minus those wind gusts. But notice we got rain chances that are starting to increase later this evening. Now, not everyone's going to see this activity, but there is a potential for maybe some isolated pop-up scattered showers and thunderstorms. So isolated pop-up. It may be a little bit more scattered further to the west in northeast Oklahoma, but I don't really think we're going to see that much in our neck of the woods, at least later this afternoon and this evening. Now, overnight tonight, rain chances will increase. That'll continue into tomorrow morning. And then here's a look at what we got for this afternoon. 70s, anywhere from mid-upper 70s into the lower 80s. Mostly sunny out there. It's going to be a little bit breezy with some of those wind gusts. I'll briefly, touch on the topic of the storms this evening. Not everyone's going to see this activity. I'm only showing you this just because you may see this online. It only clips portions of our coverage area. Really doesn't include a large portion of the area, but maybe a couple more scattered showers and thunderstorms in northeast Oklahoma. That may clip some of our counties that we cover here later this evening. Now, overnight tonight into tomorrow, rain chances are going to start to increase. Maybe a little bit more scattered showers, maybe a couple rumbles of thunder as well. Cloud coverage is also going to help keep us a little bit more insulated. Maybe a couple upper 50s into the lower to mid 60s out there. Again, it's nothing necessarily widespread, but don't be surprised to hear some rumbles of thunder. Tomorrow afternoon, more chances for some showers and thunderstorms. This may be a little bit more scattered. Now, there is some questions as to how much instability we have, thanks to the cloud coverage, early rain activity, and so on. So tomorrow, it's going to be warm regardless of the rain chances, but keep in mind, you are going to want an umbrella regardless, just because some scattered showers and thunderstorms will be possible. Because there's a severe weather risk tomorrow, just want to let you know, because it's been a while since we've talked about severe weather, just be prepared in the event of strong to severe storms. Not everyone's going to see this, but there could be some storms capable of large hail, damaging winds, and yes, there's a low but not zero tornado risk for tomorrow. Again, it's just that time of year you're going to start to see a little bit more activity as we head into the next couple of months. And with that being said, if you have stuff in the shelter or if you have stuff in the garage, go ahead and clear that out, just because you may want to bring your car in tomorrow just to be safe and just, review the severe weather safety. It's not a guarantee you're going to need it, but this is going to be the risk that we have for tomorrow. Notice it does cover a large portion of the area. Not everyone's going to see storms, but just because we have that risk, it's been a while since we've talked about it, wouldn't be a bad idea to go ahead and review severe weather safety just in case. Some of these storms could produce some hail, winds, maybe a low tornado risk as well. But again, not everyone's going to see this activity. We just want you to be aware of it, especially as you head out tomorrow, and just aware that the risk is there. Another risk arrives by the time we get to Friday. We'll be keeping an eye on this. No exact details on this just yet, but we just want to let you know, hey, we've got a risk the next couple of days we want you to be aware of. Tomorrow and on Friday, just keep an eye on that activity. Here's a look at the Futurecast radar as we head into overnight tonight to tomorrow. Notice a couple scattered showers and thunderstorms could clip portions of our northwest counties. That's what that risk is for today. Now, as we head into tomorrow, about midday into the early afternoon, that's when we're watching the chance for maybe some scattered showers and some thunderstorms. Now, again, not everyone's going to see severe weather, but if you get some of those more discrete cells, that could be more supportive for that large hail, maybe damaging winds, and maybe an isolated tornado or two. That will continue pretty much into the afternoon and evening tomorrow. So keeping an eye on it. Again, not everyone's going to see severe weather. We just want you to be aware, because it's been a while since we've talked about severe weather, just to kind of review on what we've got there. And then even better news, there's some rain chances pretty much every day into early next week. And the reason that's the better news, we desperately need that rainfall. It's getting really dry out there, and hopefully with these rain chances, we're able to knock the drought off of the monitor there. And we'll have more details on this here coming up.
All right, thanks, Joshua. U.S. officials warn that the heaviest airstrikes on Iran may still be ahead. President Trump says Iran wants to negotiate, but he calls it too late, while lawmakers remain divided over the administration's actions. Explosions rocked Tehran as hundreds of fighter jets flew over the capital. The U.S. and Israel say the most punishing strikes are yet to come. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the goal is to destroy Iran's ballistic missile capability and prevent a nuclear program. Democrats are planning a war powers resolution vote, while most Republicans support the administration's actions.
We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed. And then we would all be here answering questions about why we knew that and didn't act.
Virginia Senator Tim Kaine says the war powers vote could come as soon as tomorrow. And here at home, lawmakers from across Arkansas are voicing their opinions on the U.S. strikes in Iran. Chris Jones, Democratic candidate for the U.S. House and spouse of a combat veteran, says leaders must act responsibly to keep service members protected.
We need to make certain that we are doing everything we can to protect the lives of our troops that are in harm's way and the families that are back here at home.
Today, the Arkansas House and Senate are scheduled to get an all-members briefing on Iran. And voters across Arkansas are heading to the polls today for the primary and judicial general election. Today's ballot includes party primaries, judicial races, and school elections, including school board seats and school millage questions that impact local taxes. Voters can choose a Democratic, Republican, or nonpartisan ballot. The Republican Party is holding a closed primary this year, while the Democratic primary remains open. Election officials remind voters to bring a valid photo ID as they head to the polls.
I think one of the greatest things our founding fathers did was give us the First Amendment and the freedom to speak, the freedom to express ourselves. And one of the best ways to do that in our day and age is to get out and vote and let our voices be heard.
In party primary races, candidates who do not win outright could advance to a runoff later this month. Nonpartisan judicial and school races could also require a runoff, which would happen in November. Polls are open tonight until 7:30. You can find polling locations near you on our website, 5newsonline.com. And here's a closer look at some of those key races happening today. State Senate District 26 voters will decide the replacement for late Gary Stubblefield. Republican Brad Simon and independent candidate Adam Watson are in the race. Fayetteville voters will decide a more than $300 million bond proposal, and Democratic voters will decide their party's challenger to go up against Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And both parties will decide their candidates in the U.S. Senate race. Plus, multiple counties will weigh in on who the next judge and sheriff will be. To get a full look at all the races in your area, just text VOTE to 785-5000 and we'll send you back a link to the full election guide. You can download it for free and watch on your smart TV devices. We'll also have special coverage throughout the election night right here and tomorrow on 5 News Plus. Download it for free and watch on your smart TV devices. The Washington County Quorum Court has postponed a proposal to join a regional economic development group. The plan would have created the Northwest Arkansas Regional Industrial and Technology Development Authority to help attract major manufacturing and technology jobs. The authority, allowed under Arkansas Act 576, would allow counties to work together to prepare large, shovel-ready industrial sites for advanced manufacturing and technology companies. Supporters, including the Northwest Arkansas Council, say the region is missing opportunities for high-paying production jobs, which are needed.
We're not building real estate that will allow us to compete for that. And so they're going to places like Dallas and other places. But we have a population here that needs those kind of jobs.
Some Washington County leaders pushed back, saying the authority would have too much power and could make decisions outside local control. The Quorum Court ultimately voted to postpone the proposal indefinitely. Benton County has already approved creating the authority, while Madison County voted not to join. In other news, a Fayetteville woman suing Arkansas State Police will get her day in court. It all stems from a police stop almost 2 years ago at a Fayetteville gas station. Peyton Malia was stopped with her 4-year-old son by 4 ASP officers with guns drawn. The officers were looking for a double homicide suspect, and they thought Malia's car matched the suspect's car. ASP eventually let her go, but Malia later sued for an unreasonable search and excessive force. A trial has been set for April of next year, but the sides could reach a settlement before then. You can read more details on 5newsonline.com. An Arkansas federal judge has ordered a change to state procedures regarding parole violations. U.S. District Judge Christine Baker ruled Monday that parts of the parole revocation system in the state are unconstitutional. That's the formal process of sending someone back to prison after they violate parole. In her ruling, the Post-Prison Transfer Board and the Department of Corrections can no longer deny parolees due process. Now, here's what that means going forward. Under the ruling, the state must hold timely hearings to determine if there is a probable cause for alleged parole violations. Those on parole must receive written notice of the allegations against them. And if their parole is revoked, a judge must submit a written letter explaining why. In Fort Smith, city directors will discuss Parrot Island and the consent decree again tonight. The board will vote to push forward a rebidding process for the Parrot Island slides construction. The city was sued and accused of violating bidding rules after it dropped the requirements and awarded the slide contract to one company. The board will also discuss extending the consent decree with the EPA deadline by 11.5 years. And we're taking a live look outside in Rogers. It's 12:42 right now. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Stay with us. Well, a new month means new movies in theaters, ranging from bloody action and horror to animated family fare to an adventure among the stars. David Daniel has a preview of the big films coming out in March.
What happened?
You had an accident.
An accident, huh?
We dug you up, and we brought you back to life.
The first weekend in March brings Oscar nominee Jessie Buckley and Christian Bale in director Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride, and a young scientist who joins the animal kingdom in the animated adventure Hoppers.
Hey, how'd you know I lived here?
I'm not here to see you. I need to see my daughter.
You're her. Go.
The romantic drama Reminders of Him, based on the novel by It Ends With Us and Regretting You author Colleen Hoover, lands on March 13th, as does Undertone, about a paranormal podcast host who receives some eerie recordings.
It is time go.
I think you're being go time, pal.
March 20th is Time Go for Project Hail Mary, starring Ryan Gosling as a scientist recruited to save the world, and The Pout Pout Fish, an undersea animated tale featuring the voices of Nick Offerman and Jordan Sparks.
By surviving hide and seek, you've triggered a new game. This time against the High Council families. Double or nothing. This pod will be familiar. They will try to kill you.
And March ends with a double dose of women fending off violent death. The sequel Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, and a comedy horror flick about a satanic cult titled, appropriately, They Will Kill You. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And we're taking a live look out in Bentonville. Looks like a pretty sunny day, maybe a few clouds. Stick around, we'll be right back. Tens of thousands of travelers have been stranded in the Middle East since the U.S. and Israel began strikes on Iran with Iran's retaliation. Limited flights began operating Monday out of the United Arab Emirates, though the airspace has been closed over multiple countries in the region. The U.S. State Department issued a notice urging all Americans to depart now from the Middle East using available commercial transportation due to serious safety risks. Meanwhile, the conflict caused prices to jump at the pump Monday. The average price of a gallon of regular unleaded gasoline passed the $3 mark for the first time this year, according to Gas Buddy. And with the midterm elections about 8 months away, a new CBS News poll shows that Americans are deadlocked over which party would best handle the economy. 34% say the Democrats, a 7-point jump from January. There's no change in the 33% who say Republicans. You may have also noticed that many hotels are unveiling major renovation projects these days. There are reasons why more upgrades are happening now. In today's Travel Tuesday, CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette explores the trend.
Fluffy white linens are a color match for the icy tundra outside the Four Seasons Hotel Philadelphia. But on a newly opened floor perched high above the city called Sky Garden, guests only find comfy warmth, an art collection, private wellness room, and sleep amenities set to classical music. The new floor adds 8 rooms and suites to a hotel that opened in 2019.
Chocolate hazelnut crisps.
Already known for its culinary scenes, spa with views, personal training sessions, and infinity pool.
The 3 pillars of this floor are wellness, culinary, and art.
Those pillars also anchor the iconic Waldorf Astoria, New York, reopened last year after an 8-year, multi-billion-dollar renovation.
We always say that it's priceless because of the extent the renovation was, but in reality, no, it's to the billions.
Those billions bought transformed public spaces, larger guest rooms, and a 22,000 square foot Guerlain spa with 16 treatment rooms, all of it now up for sale. Industry experts say spiking a property's value can spur renovations, as can brand pressure, or taking advantage of fewer new investments.
Owners are saying, oh, if there's limited new competition down the block, I can be the new hotel, quote unquote, by renovating.
Another renovation just wrapped up here at the Ritz-Carlton Key Biscayne in Miami. It cost $100 million, the first major upgrade since the hotel opened 25 years ago.
The hotel, one of those where we stayed for a special rate, reopened after 7 months with a brand new spa and adjoining garden area, new rooms, restaurants, and lobby.
Fully renovated lobby, and then you look straight through the ocean, through the courtyard. And I think that should give you a beautiful sense of place.
The space looks new, but the staff is not. The true reason why guests often return. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
And it's time for another look at the forecast now. Here's Joshua with what you can expect for the rest of the day and into tomorrow.
Yeah, and here's a look at what we've got. It'll be partly sunny like it is right now. Now, many of you are seeing lots of sunshine out there, but we do have some of those clouds off in the distance. Some areas are going to be a little bit more cloudy compared to others. Now, throughout the day today, you're going to see those clouds begin to increase later on. In the meantime, though, it'll be breezy southwest winds anywhere between about 15 to 25, occasional gusts up to 30. Highs into the 70s and even the 80s, so it's going to feel pretty good out there. Now, overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, some scattered showers and thunderstorms will be possible. Don't be surprised if you hear some rumbles of thunder overnight tonight. And then that cloud coverage is actually going to help keep us stay insulated. And that means that temperature is really not going to drop all that much into the upper 50s, lower, maybe even some mid 60s out there overnight tonight into tomorrow. Now, tomorrow afternoon, that's when we start to see those highs. It may be a little bit all over the place in terms of those temperatures. It's really dependent on how much rain we get overnight into tomorrow, the cloud coverage, and so on and so forth. So we're going to see highs anywhere between the upper 60s into the lower, maybe mid 70s northwest Arkansas, mid upper 70s, maybe some lower 80s, depending on where in the River Valley. And keep in mind, there's going to be a chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms once again tomorrow. Again, not everyone's going to see this activity, but just because it's been a while since we talked about severe weather, keep in mind, know your severe weather safety guidelines. And again, it's not that you're going to need it tomorrow, but as we're headed into spring and we have a risk tomorrow, it's just good to go ahead and review it. Risk tomorrow could be large hail, damaging winds, and a low but not zero tornado risk, mostly during the afternoon into the evening tomorrow. That's a look at what we got there. We'll have a look at that 7-day here coming up.
And we're taking a live look outside in Fayetteville. What a beautiful sunny day. We'll break down your top stories here on 5 News Plus right after this. Voters head to the polls today for the primary election, deciding who will represent both Republican and Democratic parties in November. The ballot also includes judicial races, school board seats, and millage questions that impact local taxes. Voters can choose a Democratic, Republican, or nonpartisan ballot. The Republican primary is closed, while the Democratic primary is open. Registered Democrats who want a Republican ballot must fill out a new voter registration form at the polls. Election officials also remind voters to bring a valid photo ID and say that you can visit Voter View to verify your registration and polling location. Fort Smith City directors will discuss Parrot Island Water Park again tonight. The board will vote to push forward a rebidding process for the Parrot Island slides construction. The city was sued and accused of violating bidding rules after it dropped the requirements and awarded the slide contract to one company. The Washington County Quorum Court has postponed a proposal to join a regional economic development group. The plan would have created an authority to help attract jobs, allowing counties to work together to prepare industrial sites for companies. Supporters say the region is missing opportunities for high-paying jobs, but some county leaders say the authority would have too much power and could make decisions outside local control.
And here's a look at that 7-day forecast. Again, there's going to be a chance for some maybe strong to severe storms tomorrow, once again on Friday. No weather impact alerts just yet for Friday, just because, you know, we get these outlooks and there's only so much that we can go into it until we get into the short range models. So we'll get the details over the next couple of days, but meantime, things look rainy next several days.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us for your 5 News at 12:30 on the 5 News Plus streaming app.